9 aprons, 12 hockey medals in a 13-year career, 26 years in the classroom, and hoping for 26 more. Finally, having the name of a 1950s housewife. Priceless. I'd like to welcome you to the Donna Reed Show. For many, many years, I have been known as a 1950s housewife, not because of the name, but because of my love for cooking and baking. Some people have said that cooking is more of an art, and that baking is really the science. And being a science teacher, even though I like to dissect things, I have to say that when you enjoy what you're doing and I experiment a little bit, that I'd say there's a little bit of art in everything that I do. Especially after 12 different batches of banana bread, each with something else tweaked inside of it. Of course, not only loving to share my cooking, but eating it as well, I found that I love to just talk about it. What kind of things inspire you in the kitchen? Is it walking down an aisle at the farmer's market and seeing fresh produce? Or maybe it's the aisle in the grocery store and different jars and spices and not quite sure what concoction you're going to come up with, but just go with whatever feels natural to you. So, in being an educator and loving to hear the sound of my own voice, I decided to start blogging. I actually have 3 blogs about cooking. The first one was called Donna Reed's Dollar Menu. And I don't know if that had something to do with the fact that I had recently put together a course on Fast Food Nation and Super Size Me, and hearing all too often that, well, it's easier and cheaper to eat unhealthy food. So I came up with Donna Reed's Dollar Menu, where every serving was $1 or less. And then I felt limited in that because I liked to kind of the journalistic style and just saying whatever came to mind as I was blogging. But limited by the $1 a serving, I decided to come up with Apron Worthy, a blog about baking. But then after running through that a little bit, I decided, well, what if it doesn't fit into the baking category, and what if it's more than $1? How am I going to be able to share with the world my love of the crusted lamb chops with the zucchini canoes on the side? It didn't fit in either one. So I came up with Home Slice, Tales from the Kitchen of a 1950s Housewife. As you can imagine, people were very, very surprised, yet not so much, when I told them that when I was getting married, my new last name would be Reed. Donna Stewart doesn't quite have the same ring to the 1950s housewife that Donna Reed does. I was born and raised in a small town on the North Shores of Lake Superior, Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. It is commonly known as the elbow of Canada, which I thought was interesting, having moved to California and hear about all of the armpits of California. I, of course, got 12 medals in 13 years of hockey, organized hockey for 13 years. When I was in Minnesota, I was able to continue that in more of a scrub fashion. That's just kind of for fun. That's the term for just hockey, just for exercise. But what I thought was interesting, yeah, I did get 12 medals. That's pretty darn good, quite an accomplishment. Although 6 of them were for most improved, which leads to the question of how bad was I when I started? Well, my older brother can tell you I was pretty bad. But I kept trying to improve. I kept trying to learn more. And that's really one of my characteristics that I think still holds true today, is that I'm always trying to find a way to do things better, to improve my knowledge base. Even though the summer has just started for me, as an educator, I've got 2 months to do whatever I want. And most people would think summer school, that must just sound just like nails on a chalkboard. But to me, I looked at it as this great experience. So I will be picking up guitar lessons, I will be starting knitting, and I'm in a jewelry making class, metal casting, where I'll be making a ring. So I've always wanted to continue to improve. Although I've only taught for 6 years, I did the math the other day, and I have been a student or teacher in a classroom for 26 years. I'm just finishing up my master's degree at Sonoma State University in education technology. I got my undergraduate in my hometown, Thunder Bay. I got an honors degree in biology and a degree in education, intermediate senior. I originally had these grandiose ideas of, I can be a science teacher, I can work anywhere, I'm a female, that's what people were telling me all along. And 2 years later, with nothing, I realized that maybe maybe this wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. However, I wanted to continue to improve and keep going and let my enthusiasm take me wherever it would. Landed up in Minnesota, just outside of Minneapolis. Perfect job. Just starting off, brand new classroom, the walls were empty, I could do with it what I wanted to. And it was one of the best experiences. I spent 5 years trying to become a teacher, and it took me 2 years to finally get a classroom. And it was interesting as I heard my neighbors crashing downstairs below, throwing plates and screaming obscenities at one another, that I had the epiphany that teaching is what I really wanted to do, and I finally found my place. After moving to another place shortly thereafter, I ended up meeting my husband, and out of all places, I met him on Craigslist. I found my couch on Craigslist, my black walnut dining room chairs on Craigslist. I recently sold a couch on Craigslist, and I found my husband on Craigslist. Because of him, I ended up coming out here to California. He got a job. I thought it was the best thing to do to follow him. So I did, and here I am.